Welcome to the first ever episode of Bed Talk, the only show on YouTube that tackles every issue in League of Legends. On today's episode, we're gonna cover something that has been broken for 11 years. You've seen the title already, I'm talking about the Flash. Nah, that joke's too obvious. We're covering the Flash. That's better. So without wasting time, let's get precisely into why Flash is inherently overpowered. But first we have to break down certain champion classes and how they differ in mobility. First, Mages and Marksmen. Excluding Enchanters, these are the two squishiest champion types. When they get caught out, pray to at least two gods, cause one isn't gonna be enough to save you. That's why they rely so much on positioning. Positioning is what separates a good marksman from a dead one. I can't stress this enough. But Flash negates all of that. Both ways! Why does it matter that you positioned well when Nautilus is gonna flash towards you and make your squishy ass a target for his newer underground super soaker, and all you can do is watch in horror as all you love turns to grey? And why does it matter that you positioned badly when you can just flash away from danger as soon as you see it? Another class. Bruisers, or Juggernauts if you prefer. Defining a Juggernaut is pretty simple. It's a tanky, immobile melee champion with a devastating damage output. Their mobility is severely limited. You'll be lucky to find a Juggernaut that has more mobility than just a speed boost or a tiny dash. Which is why giving them an instant blink is a bad idea. Remember how problematic Strikebreaker was? They tried adjusting it but then realized that Juggernauts were not supposed to be given external mobility. You know, like a summoner spell. Imagine a theoretical scenario. There's a teamfight brewing, and the enemy Darius engages from a bush on the side, trying to get into the fray and do what a Darius does. Darius gets hit by a Morgana Q and then bursted down by the team's damage dealers, effectively punishing him for engaging at a bad time. Now imagine if Darius instead flashed over the Morgana Q, getting even closer to the enemies and making Morgana half the champion she was for the next 6 seconds. That situation rewards Darius for engaging at a bad moment. Do you see the problem? There are certain situations where you absolutely must have Flash or you can't even fight. Do you think being limited by something outside of your champion is fun? Say the enemy has a Jarvan and you're an Ashe. Now you can never be in a teamfight without Flash, or you'll just be put in gay baby jail and force-fed negative LP. So instead of having a mobility spell on a 5-minute cooldown, you instead have a boy oh boy I can finally teamfight now spell on a 5-minute cooldown. There are only 3 reasons Flash is still in the game. First, it makes the game exciting. You can't deny that performing a flashy combo, pun very much intended, feels very rewarding, and just combining Flash with a spell adds depth to virtually every champion there is. Second, it's been a core part of the game for so long, it would be stupid to delete it, which was actually considered a long time ago by the way. Third, it's available to everyone, and if everyone is overpowered, no one is! Which is a pretty good statement in theory. Until you realize that some champions utilize Flash way better than others, and as an example let's take a typical top lane counter matchup, Quinn vs Renekton. Typically, Quinn is one of the biggest counters to Renekton, because she can poke him endlessly, and when he tries to engage with E, Quinn can just E away and keep harassing him. However, if Renekton flashes on Quinn and stuns her, not only can he perform almost his whole combo on her without Quinn having any time to react, he still has his E to get back to her when she is away, forcing her to flash later, after already having lost like 70% of her health, just because of a summoner spell. If you're still not convinced that Flash is objectively overpowered, just consider one last thing. Go into a draft pick match right now, and tell me how many players picked Flash as one of their summoner spells. If you didn't come across one of these gentlemen and gentlewomen, the answer is probably 10. Where's the spell diversity? It was supposed to be a fun choice, Riot! Now at this point you might be thinking, you hate Flash so much yet you use Flash yourself? Curious. But you must understand that unlike those disgusting meta-slave Flash abusers, I use Flash ironically as meta commentary on how broken Flash is. So, what's the conclusion? Should Riot remove Flash? Should it be nerfed, or put as a mandatory spell for everyone, separate from the rest of the summoner spells? I don't know.